Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Burning Issues. Today I'm going to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind the last few weeks, maybe a few months actually, if I'm honest. And it's all about, for me, it was about work, but that extended to life because people that know me know that what I do work-wise has I'm very passionate about it, and it has a big impact on my life as a whole. And basically, it just dawned on me. I went on holiday, vacation, and I was like weighing up what I'm doing in life, what I'm doing for work. I literally wrote a list out: positives, negatives, tried to score them 1 through 5, almost like a life audit. Quite a useful process in some respects. And then I read again the book, which I've got a copy somewhere. I'm just trying to scan around to see where it is. It's over there. It's called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. He's a fellow I think he lives in the West Coast of America, and he's a pretty famous investor, serial entrepreneur. Really great book. It's actually been written kind of amalgamating a lot of tweets and interviews. It's not an autobiography, but his views on wealth, on happiness, on life itself. And that coupled with just kind of conversations with close friends, etc. And I was just like, hold on a minute. Like, I'm just looking at things, life, work, etc., and looking at what's missing, looking at, the negative, it's not achieving X, it's not doing Y, I've not got this, I'm not involved with that, whatever the case may be, whether it be weight I'm not happy with, whether it be the business, whether it be just general life, whatever the case may be. And just dawned on me, it's like I'm just got so much negative self-talk that isn't conducive to actually anything particularly positive. And if I just literally look at things in a different lens and go, hold on a minute, what are all the great things about my life right now? What's all the great things about the business that I run? What's all the great things about what's going on? All of a sudden, that kind of paradigm shift, that perspective change, the using a different lens, so to speak, completely has changed my view on things. And I think there's a lot of people talk about this. There's a certain resonance. I think if you're in a positive, optimistic frame of mind, there's a resonance, and people feel that. And if you're in the opposite, which is negative and trying to, in a business sense, like get every deal and coming across that way, etc., etc. I think there is a resonance of people feel it, even over message, even over long distance, not necessarily in person, of course, but that can be true as well. And so I would urge you to look at what you do have, look at what is going well, look at the position that you're in, be grateful, practice gratitude as much as possible. Now, these things are said all the time, and it's just so important, actually, because just the ability to, live in a peaceful society, to have, Jimmy Carr talked about it on Joe Rogan's, I think it was Steve Bartlett's podcast, actually, is like, people just don't realize that simply having hot running water, a shower every day, is like such a privilege compared to vast amount of human civilization. Now that might be going too grindly for some of you, but I think there are things day to day you can pick out and go, you know what, I'm healthy right now. There's another edition I did where I talked about health, and a sick person wants one thing: to be healthy. A healthy person wants 10,001 things. It's a famous kind of quote, but it's absolutely true. So don't take for granted that you've got great friends around you, that your grandparents still around, your parents still around, etc., etc. And if things aren't going exactly as you'd want them to be, just use a different frame of mind and go, right, well, what is going well? Focus on the positives. Of course, work through your problems, find solutions to them, no question about that. But I think it's the lens that you use that has a real impact and turning point on your life and how you view things. Because it doesn't matter who you are, what position you're in, there is always negative that you can focus on. And humans, and psychologically and physiologically we are set up to focus on negatives, and you've got to push really hard to look at the positives. It might be something simple. You're trying to get in shape. All right, you didn't lose weight last week, but the last 5 weeks you've lost a pound a week, a kilo a week. You might be in the gym and you might be not able to run as far as you used to, but you're in the gym, you got there. That kind of thing. I think just trying to be and remain positive and optimistic as much as possible. And not being, airy-fairy in the clouds. There is room, I think, for negative when it can be constructive. Again, using a different lens and saying, okay, I'm not happy with this. I'm going to do X about it. If you're just saying, I'm not happy with this, and you're doing nothing about it, that is the definition of insanity. It's just nothing's going to change. You're going to be in the same spot. So I wish you the best, and I think try and think about the lens you're using to view the world. Thank you.